Hey, Chiefs fans, welcome back for another deep dive.
All
right, so
yeah,
the Chiefs made a big move, grabbing edge rusher Joshua Uche,
absolutely.
and we're going to break down exactly why you should be pumped about this guy.
Yeah.
We're talking of 5 key things that go way beyond those basic headlines, so you truly understand what he brings to the table.
What's really exciting about Uche is that he's not just a flash in the pan.
Right.
This guy brings the heat consistently over the past 3 seasons.
Okay.
He's racked up 106 pressures and 16 and a half sacks.
Okay, hold on. Let's put that into perspective for a second.
Sure.
Those 106 pressures
Yeah.
that would have put him 4th on the Chiefs in both 2022 and 2023.
Right.
And we're not even talking about his insane sack numbers yet.
And those sacks are a big deal, right? 16 and a half in 3 seasons is no joke.
Right.
That consistent pressure is exactly what the Chiefs need to really disrupt opposing offenses.
Right. You can't just rely on Chris Jones to do everything, though I'm sure you'd love to try.
Of course.
But you add another guy who can consistently get to the quarterback, and suddenly the entire defense becomes that much more dangerous.
And it's not just about the raw numbers.
Okay.
We got to talk about this thing called pass rush win rate.
Okay.
Think of it this way. It measures how often a player beats their blocker, even if it doesn't end in a sack.
Oh, okay.
It gives you a much clearer picture of their overall dominance.
So, even if they don't take the quarterback down, they're still causing chaos and forcing bad throws.
Now, check this out. Uche's sitting at a 17.2% win rate for this season.
Wow.
That puts him among the elite edge rushers in the entire NFL.
All right, so he's winning his matchups constantly.
He is.
That's got to have Spags licking his chops. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And here's another juicy tidbit for you.
Okay.
Uche is now leading all Chiefs edge rushers in this crucial metric.
Wow.
The only guy on the entire team with a higher win rate is Chris Jones. That tells you right there what kind of impact this guy can have.
So we're talking about a potentially dominant force coming off the edge.
Absolutely.
Man, I can already hear the crowd roaring at Arrowhead.
Sure.
Now let's rewind the clock a bit.
Okay.
2022 was a monster year for Uche.
Mm-hmm.
He explodes onto the scene with 56 pressures and 11 and a half sacks.
And remember, those 11 and a half sacks all came in the final 10 games of the Patriots season.
Wow.
Talk about finishing strong. Uche was practically unblockable down the stretch.
I mean, imagine that kind of impact in a Chiefs uniform.
Right.
If he can replicate even half of that production, opposing quarterbacks are going to be having nightmares.
Oh, and get this. His win rate during that season was a ridiculous 19.2%. That ranked him 5th among all players with over 250 pass rushing snaps.
Wow.
We're not just talking edge rushers here.
Right.
Every single player on the field, that puts him in some truly elite company.
All right, so this isn't some random pickup, right? We're talking about a guy who's shown he could perform at an incredibly high level.
Exactly. Let's go back even further to the 2020 NFL draft.
Okay.
Uche was selected 60th overall in the second round.
So even back then, scouts were seeing the potential for greatness.
Absolutely.
And he was the 7th edge rusher taken that year.
That's right.
That's some serious draft pedigree.
And, pre-draft reports were raving about his athleticism and potential as a future starter.
Yeah.
Teams recognized his talent right from the get-go.
That tells me that the Chiefs didn't just stumble upon some hidden gem. They went after a guy they knew could be a difference maker.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's switch gears for a second and talk about Uche's college days at Michigan.
Ah, yes, a Michigan man. Those Wolverines are known for producing tough, hard-nosed players.
Yeah.
And Uche is no exception. He may not have been an instant starter.
Right.
But he paid his dues and learned the game.
That's important, right? He wasn't handed everything on a silver platter.
Exactly.
He worked his way up, honed his skills, earned his spot.
Exactly. By his senior year, he was a key player for the Wolverines.
Yeah.
In fact, he finished his college career with a whopping 20 and a half tackles for loss and 16 and a half sacks.
Those are some impressive numbers, especially considering the level of competition he was facing in the Big Ten.
And here's what really stands out to me. Uche was voted Michigan's Defensive Player of the Year by his own teammates.
Wow.
That tells you everything you need to know about his leadership and the impact he had on that program.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about talent. It was about his drive, his work ethic, his ability to inspire those around him.
So we got a guy who can bring the heat on the field.
Yeah.
but he's also a proven leader who elevates everyone around him.
Absolutely.
I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get really excited about what Uche can bring to the Chiefs.
Me too, and there's so much more to unpack. You ready to dig even deeper?
You bet. Let's keep this deep dive rolling and see what else we can learn about Joshua Uche.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about how Uche fits into the Chiefs' defensive scheme.
Okay.
I think this is where things get really interesting.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. We all know Spagnuolo loves to dial up the pressure and get creative with his blitz packages. Imagine what he can do with a talent like Uche at his disposal.
Yeah, it's almost like adding another weapon to an already loaded arsenal.
Right.
You got Chris Jones collapsing the pocket from the inside.
Right.
And now you got Uche coming off the edge with that lightning fast first step.
Yeah.
It's a recipe for disaster for opposing quarterbacks.
I can already picture it. Mahomes throws a quick slant. The defense gets the stop. And Uche is right there in the quarterback's face celebrating with the crowd going wild.
And it's not just about sacks either.
Right.
Uche's presence alone will force offenses to adjust their game plans.
Okay.
They'll have to dedicate extra blockers to contain him, which opens up opportunities for other guys on the defense to make plays.
Right. It's like a chain reaction.
Exactly.
Uche creates pressure, the offense panics, and suddenly Nick Bolton's coming in for a pick six.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the veteran presence on that defensive line.
Yeah.
Guys like Frank Clark and Carlos Dunlap have seen it all.
All right.
They can really help mentor Uche and show him the ropes.
That's something I think a lot of fans overlook. It's not just about raw talent.
Right.
It's about having those experienced players who can guide and teach the younger guys. It's like having an extra coach on the field.
Couldn't agree more. Learning from guys who've been there and done that is invaluable, especially for a young player adjusting to a new team and a new system. Now, the big question on everyone's mind, what can Chiefs fans realistically expect from Uche in this upcoming season?
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the hype and start throwing around Pro Bowl predictions, but let's be realistic here.
I think it's important to remember that there's always an adjustment period.
Right.
It takes time to learn the playbook, build chemistry with your teammates, and adapt to a new coaching staff, but I'm not going to downplay Uche's potential here.
Right. We've already established that this guy has the skills and the track record to be a dominant force in the NFL.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him make an immediate impact.
Okay.
His pass rushing abilities are undeniable, and we know Spagnuolo loves to unleash his edge rushers.
Yeah.
Whether he's a starter or a rotational player, Uche is going to have plenty of opportunities to make plays.
And you know what really excites me?
What's that?
It's that relentless motor we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
You watch him on film, and the guy just never gives up. He's always chasing the ball, hustling on every single play.
That's the kind of effort and intensity that's contagious.
Right.
It rubs off on your teammates and sets a tone for the entire defense. And let's not forget, he's joining a team with a winning culture.
Yeah.
A team that expects to compete for a championship every year. That kind of environment can push a player to another level.
Absolutely. Think about the impact guys like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce have had on their respective positions. They elevate everyone around them.
Right.
I think Uche could experience that same kind of boost playing alongside those guys.
For sure.
Speaking of championships, let's address the elephant in the room here. Could Joshua Uche be the missing piece that helps propel the Chiefs to another Super Bowl victory?
Whoa, hold on there. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's a team sport, and one player, no matter how talented, can't single-handedly win a Super Bowl.
You're right. You're right. But you got to admit, it's fun to think about the possibility.
Oh, absolutely. And listen, Uche's arrival definitely strengthens the Chiefs' defense.
Yeah.
Which is crucial for any team with Super Bowl aspirations.
For sure.
A dominant defense can create turnovers, give the offense more possessions, and keep the score close in those tight playoff games.
So you're saying he could be a valuable piece of the puzzle?
Absolutely. He adds depth, talent, and a different dimension to the Chiefs' pass rush.
Okay.
And in the playoffs, when every game is a battle, those factors can make all the difference.
You know, we've focused a lot on the on-field stuff, but I'm curious about Uche the person. What kind of guy is he? How do you think he'll fit into the Chiefs locker room?
Well, from everything I've read and heard, Uche is a high-character individual.
Right.
A hard worker and a great teammate.
Right.
And remember, his Michigan teammates voted him Defensive Player of the Year.
That's right.
That speaks volumes about the respect he commands in the locker room.
That's true.
Yeah.
It shows he's not just a talented player, but also a leader who elevates those around him.
Exactly. And, you know, the Chiefs locker room is full of strong personalities and leaders.
Okay.
Guys like Mahomes, Kelce, Chris Jones. I have no doubt Uche will fit right in and contribute to that winning culture.
Plus, he's coming to a city that absolutely loves its football team.
Yeah.
I can already imagine Chiefs Kingdom welcoming him with open arms, chanting his name at Arrowhead.
Oh.
It's going to be electric.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to love his energy, his intensity, and that never-give-up attitude he brings to the field.
All right, I'm going to throw this out there, a bold prediction, but hear me out. What if Joshua Uche ends up being the steal of the season?
Okay.
What if he exceeds all expectations and becomes a Pro Bowl caliber player for the Chiefs?
It's certainly a possibility. We know he has the talent and the potential.
Right.
And now he's in a system that could truly unlock his abilities and put him in a position to succeed.
Think about it. A dominant pass rusher, mentored by veteran players, playing on a team with the Super Bowl aspirations, and embraced by a passionate fan base. That's a recipe for success.
I think Chiefs fans are in for a real treat.
Yeah.
They're getting a player who's hungry to prove himself, who's eager to learn, and who's determined to make a difference.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, folks.
We have.
We've explored Joshua Uche's stats, his playing style, his potential impact on the Chiefs, and even his personality.
His leadership.
We've seen that he's a dynamic pass rusher with a high motor, a proven track record, and all the tools to be a real game changer for this defense. But here's the question I want to leave you with. What will Uche's legacy be in Kansas City? Will he become a fan favorite? A defensive stalwart? A Super Bowl champion? Only time will tell, but the future certainly looks bright for this talented young player.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see what he does in red and gold.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Joshua Uche Chiefs fans. We'll be back next week with another breakdown. Until then, keep bleeding red and gold.